I think my refrigerator has it out for me. But the weather is so bad, we're gonna head out to the library because there are no windows there. Do you guys want to sneak in my partner's room? I have been teaching for 6 years, and within those 6 years, I've had a teacher desk 1 year. It is the morning after Labor Day, and it is around 6:20 in the morning. I am on my way to work, and I'm a little bit nervous because on Friday, I left everything a mess. I did not put my name tags out or put my journals out. I did not get ready for Tuesday morning because we stayed so late to do our planning, and I was ready to get home to my kids. So I'm a little bit nervous about what I'm gonna see this morning. However, I am leaving pretty early in the morning so that I can go and get a lot of my stuff done. I finished all of my lesson plans. I have a lot of copying to do, so I need to get to work, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make a pit stop for a breakfast sandwich. There's honestly and truly nothing I can do but seriously laugh. I can't I can't even, like, I don't even understand what's happening right now. I think my refrigerator has it out for me. This is what I came into this morning. Yeah, fridge is totally opened. Apparently my soda can decided to, like, completely rupture. There it is. That's what I have. Oh, Dios mío de mi vida. I'm gonna go make coffee. I can't make coffee because I don't have creamer. I'm gonna go make some copies, and then I'm gonna deal with this mess later. I just don't even want to look at it right now. It's just whatever. I'm gonna go make some copies really fast before people start heading in. Typically I try to get here before anyone else is here so that I can get to the copiers first. I made it to the copiers first, so I'm gonna go make my copies, and I will see you guys in a second. So for morning work, we are gonna complete a reader survey. I have an actual packet inside of my store that has a reader survey, learner survey, and then a parent survey that you can hand out. So this is one that I used last year, and it just kind of has them answer questions just based on things that are reading. So circling some of your favorite book genres, books that you're interested in, how do you choose a book, and it just kind of gives me an idea of where they are as readers. So they're going to complete this morning, then they're going to be working on their journals that they did not complete last week. I am hoping that tomorrow we will start to do the learner survey. So here's what the learner survey looks like. It just asks, what are some of the ways that you like to work best? Do you like to work alone? Do you like to do things with your hands? Do you like to have it quiet in the room? And again, it just gives us some really good information about where the kids are and where, how do we need to be best fitting some of their needs. So hopefully this will be something that we do tomorrow. I woke up this morning with a big red eye. Do you guys see it? I think it's an allergy eye. I'm not really sure. So I put my glasses on just so that my contacts wouldn't irritate it even more. So other than that, I think I have everything pretty much ready to go for the morning. I want to sharpen my pencils, and then I need to get rid of some of the paperwork that I have that needs to go to the office. So I'm going to sort that out, use my checklist to check off my students, and then get those ready to send down. So other than that, I am pretty much ready to go. I will show you guys what we do a little bit later on during my first break. Y'all, check out that storm. It's 4 o'clock. Right now, it's typically sunny outside. Oh my gosh, I just got that on camera. Oh my gosh, it is about to drop out of the sky. We are having a tornado warning right now. The power just went out and just went back on, but the weather is so bad, we're gonna head out to the library because there are no windows there. Hopefully everything will be okay, but I will catch up with you guys once I get back into the room, and hopefully the storm is past.
About 15 minutes ago, a tree down blocking the 1 southbound lane of 81 South.
Tornado warning has been lifted, and now the wind has actually stopped, so now it's just raining outside, and we still have a thunderstorm warning, but everything seems to be okay. So that's good. So I'm back in my classroom. I do need to pick up just a little bit before I leave. I have to go to a parent night for my 3-year-old son. So we have a parent night for him. Hopefully it didn't get canceled because of the weather. And that's at 6:30. So I'm gonna try to do some cleaning. I would like to show you guys some things that we did today, so that you can kind of get some ideas and hopefully start implementing some of those into your own classrooms. But overall, it was a really great day back. Kind of hard to get into the groove today. Like, I was still on 3-day weekend brain, but other than that, it was pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some things cleaned up and I'll see you guys in a sec. One thing that I decided to implement this year, and I took this from my partner teacher, is to be able to create a checklist for my students at the very end of the day. So I don't like to do jobs just because jobs are something that I really struggle with as far as just like changing them out every single week and maintaining those. So I don't like to do jobs. Typically I've done like experts in the classroom, and if you are an expert in one area, then you get to do it. And this year I'm gonna create a checklist. So I created one on here as we kind of talked about it and just brainstormed some ideas together, and the kids did a great job with that. There were a couple of people that just kind of stood around and they just checked things off as they were able to get some of those finished. I'm gonna actually make a dry erase version that we're gonna be able to put on top of one of the doors, and then the kids are gonna be able to check them off every afternoon. So I think that's gonna be a great way for me to be able to put some responsibility on my students, take some of that off of myself, and make end of the days go so much smoother. I got my stage cleaned off, which is very awesome. I'm very excited about that. Now I need to label my iPad chargers. Y'all, I am hating my hair today. Like, I don't know why does it look so fluffy. It's so weird. I don't know. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to label my iPad charger so that my students for 4th grade, my 5th and 6th graders got to take theirs home because they had iPad experience last year. 4th graders are just learning iPads this year, so they are not allowed to take them home until we feel as though that they are responsible enough to do so. So they are left here to be able to charge in the classroom every afternoon. So now what I need to do is I need to label their chargers, because at the end of the year they have to turn their chargers back in, so it's important that they know which one's theirs. So I'm gonna do that now just using some tape. I'm gonna write it in with a Sharpie and then be done with that. That absolutely looks like a fire hazard, I know, but I promise you, our tech department says it's okay. So all of those are now labeled with their names on it. They're charging, they're ready to go for tomorrow. 5th and 6th grade has their iPads, so we are set. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to show you guys before I start to head out to go to my son's meet the teacher night, which I'm so excited. He has preschool, I'm loving him. So I wanted to show you guys something that we're doing for our hopes and dreams. So if you are part of my Patreon group, you guys already know about it. I already gave you the printables, so you guys have been hooked up for a little bit. So we start the year talking about our hopes and dreams because it leads really nicely into going into our rules and some of the promises that we make to each other in order for us to be able to reach some of those hopes and dreams in our classrooms. So we've been having the kids work on the graphic organizers. They started it last week. Some of them are continuing to work on it, and now we're starting to have some of them that finish it. So we decided to do, last year we had like this little pennant banner that went outside of our classrooms. This year we went along with the book theme because our classrooms are based off of different genres. So we thought it would be a really cool idea to be able to use books. So I wanted to show you guys what these look like, and they're super cute. And I am allowed to show this little girl, but I am going to cover up her name so that you guys don't see it. But what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a little book template for them. So they have a spot for them to put their picture, they have their hopes and dreams here, and on their picture it actually has their name on it. And then what they did is they used their graphic organizer to help them be able to copy down what exactly their hopes and dreams are, how are they going to be able to achieve some of those goals, and what do they need from their teachers and also from their family members in order to achieve those goals. We want them to know that we're here to help them achieve their hopes and dreams, and that we're going to do that by working on some of those promises that we're going to be making to each other this week with creating our rules for our classrooms. But what I wanted to show you that I thought was really cool was this picture. So I ended up, typically what we've done in the past is we've ended up taking the kids' pictures and then we go to Walgreens and we print them at Walgreens, and y'all, that, I mean, that's great, it's all fine, but we are the worst people when it comes to picking up pictures and getting the pictures developed. Like, I am just the worst person at doing it. Well, a few weeks ago, a company actually sent me a really cool little device that allows you to print your pictures on from your phone. So this was not by like I had to put it in any video. They didn't ask me to put it in any video. They didn't ask me to like do a review on it or anything like that, but they just like graciously sent it to me. So thank you so much. This is called a print pocket, which looks like this. It's incredibly cute. I was excited to use this one because they also very graciously sent me a ton of actual little sticker zinc papers. So I figured, you know what, this is a great opportunity for me to be able to use it in my classroom, because that prevents me from having to like go to Walgreens and then these books are never going to end up getting done. I love the fact that I can simply, like, the kids are finished, I take their picture, print, and we stick it on there because it's sticker paper and it works out perfectly, and I don't have to spend, you know, a week or 2 weeks with these on my desk because I haven't gone and gotten the pictures printed. So I wanted to show you guys really quick. So here's kind of like what it looks like. You insert your phone right here. The paper is inside of this little piece of the device. You stick your phone in here and the picture will actually come out from this side. So it's great. I absolutely loved it. I was very excited to be able to use this. So thank you so much, Print. I am loving this little device. I think it is absolutely great. And yeah, so it's kind of saved my butt because now I don't have to go and get these printed. Now I can have them all done, which is really, really nice. So I thought I'd show you guys that because I thought it was like a really cool way of just being easily to get them done. So, yes, so underneath it, like the kids are able, I'm able to like type the name under the kids' pictures. So I have the, in the actual little app, I was able to go through and you take the picture, and once you take the picture, you are able to type in the person's name, and then it'll print out with the name at the very bottom, which is really nice. So I went on ahead and I typed all of my students' names in there as I'm like taking their pictures. So you also see their name on there underneath their picture, which is really cute. I thought it was adorable. Easy, quick way of being able to get out of something and me not having to make a trip to Walgreens. So that is one thing that we have worked on today. I also wanted to show you guys is something that we are doing with our classes. iPads and rules. That's pretty much what our mornings are going to be like for the rest of this week. I'm actually teaching growth mindset lessons. So what's happening is each of us took a certain area that we wanted to teach our kids in this week before we actually start curriculum next week. Curriculum is actually like reading, writing, and math are all going to start next week. This week, we really want to focus on growth mindset, and then we also wanted to focus on digital citizenship, some of our iPad lessons, and then pride lessons, which is part of like our school itself. So I wanted to show you guys this book because it's great. This is the Growth Mindset Coach. And it is a great text in that it kind of walks you through growth mindset and actually giving you explicit lessons on how you can teach growth mindset with kids. Y'all, I literally took my lessons out of this book. It is that easy, and they're great lessons. Like there is absolutely nothing wrong with any of the lessons that are in here. So I wanted to show you a couple of things that I did do, and this was literally from the book, so I promise like it's in there. But they recommended doing like a little flip book, and this is like this is a flip book that I did with my students. So they talk about today what we ended up talking about is just growth mindset. I had my kids go back and they this is lesson for September. So I had my kids go back out. I had them think about a time that they had to work really hard at something, and then I had them thinking about a time that they failed at something. And then after their quick write, we talked about reflection and what reflection meant. I had them watch a quick video that was recommended in the book. After the video, we discussed some of the parts of it. I kind of shared a story of just growth mindset with my students, and then I sent them off to really think about and reflect on what the video was talking about how, you know, before you can do something, you have to be able to, you know, acquire different skills so that you can learn how to do another thing. So this example was like soccer. So I showed them how, like soccer, you know, you have to be able to walk, you have to be able to run and dribble. And there are just so many things that you have to be able to do before you're able to actually do that one individual thing. So they went out today and they were completing this, which I thought was really cute. So there were some kids that did like photography, and then we had baking, and then we had videography, we had all types of things, and they were really able to sit down and kind of reflect on what were some of the things that they needed to be able to do. A lot of them had a trouble with like really simplifying it and going back to the very basic. They were all thinking really big, go big or go home, right? But I challenged them to really think very basic. What are some of those most basic elements that you need to have before you're able to, you know, acquire this skill? So And that is what we did today. We're going to continue on with our growth mindset lessons for the rest of the week. So they're going to have to come back and actually finish this tomorrow, and then we're going to continue on with some other pieces of it. So that was really exciting. I did want to share this book because I think it's great. So you guys need to definitely go out and check this book out. I will leave a link down below. I will leave a link down below for all of you to be able to go check the book out. Definitely get it. It is a wonderful book to have inside of your classroom to help really teach some of those kids who have a very hard time with thinking positive and thinking and persevering with things, and you know, really looking at, you know, I can do this. We found that last year we had quite a few students that really put themselves down a lot. Like they were like, I can't do this. This is, you know, way too hard. And how often do we hear that? We hear it all the time. So to really be able to help your kids think and believe in themselves, these have some really great lessons to go along with it. So I will leave a link down below to that. The weather has finally officially stopped. So I'm gonna start collecting my things so I can go see my son's teacher. I am so excited to be able to meet his teachers. This is gonna be great. And I guess I will just catch you guys in the morning. Okay, so I put on my contacts this morning, hoping that I can make it through the day without my eye getting irritated. It's still red, but it's gotten better. Like, it's not as bad as what it was. So good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday morning. I cannot believe it's already the end of the middle of the week. When you have a 3-day weekend, time just flies. So today is going to be a very, very busy day just prepping for tomorrow. Tomorrow is our kind of meet the teacher, it's called a parent night, back to school night, I think is what it's called, back to school night. Sorry, for some reason I could not remember what it was called. So we have a back to school night where the parents are going to come in the evenings. They're going to be able to hear our presentations for us to give them some good information. So we're prepping for that today and getting ready for all of those. And I'm going to continue on with my lessons about the growth mindset, and I am loving those lessons. I actually, during our little power outage last night, because we actually had power out from the time that I was still in school, my husband said they had power. We didn't get power back until probably about 10:30 at night. So we were all by candlelight last night, which was really fun, but we told some scary stories. The 3-year-old loves to hear the scary stories. It's hilarious. So this morning, I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I'm going to review my lesson plans, check to see what else I need to get done as far as this morning goes and for today's lessons. I think the only other thing that I needed to do was I had to get some labels in order to print out for their morning journals. So I have those. I'm gonna print those out this morning, and then I should be ready to go for the morning, which is really nice. Do you guys want to sneak in my partner's room? Well, one of her rooms. This is what her room looks like. Where's she at? Where's her lights at? Oh. This is my partner's room. Very spacey. Isn't it cool? Figured I'd show it to you guys. So this is actually wallpaper that we put up. So we hung up some wallpaper. It is just stapled onto that board. It is not actually sticky paper that we put on there. So she did wallpaper. My favorite piece is the rug here. The pillow cover, the covers and the pillows, and then these really cool chairs. And then she has these little air plants. Do you guys see those? Look how freaking cute that is. Look at that. Look at how cute that little guy is. You're so adorable. She painted this with her daughters, or her daughter and her son. She painted that, which I thought was cool. And then she had, I think these were posters or something to that extent that she hung up. It's like windows out into space. And then she got some really cool posters over here of the different planets. Let's drop this bad boy. That's for her. Oh, and check out her little fish. Aren't they cute? You guys are so cute. Everything is ready to go for the morning. I have my message up, I have my board up letting them know what the routine is, and then I've been working on a couple of things for tomorrow and also for this afternoon. So the kids are going to come in, we're going to do some iPad lessons today, which for the first of the morning we are going to be working on Google Slides and Google Docs. So this weekend what I ended up creating was some sort of a little checklist for them. They should already be very familiar with Docs and Slides only because they use them in the elementary level as well, in the lower elementary level, apologies, as well. So what they're going to do is I have them going through and completing some different tasks. So they're going to open Google Docs, they're going to do an all about me, they're going to name the document that. They have different pieces that they have to complete. At the very end of doing the Google Docs, they're going to share it with their homeroom teacher so that we can check to see if they're very capable of using Docs. And then the same thing with Google Slides. That they're gonna, it's just kind of an all about me presentation type thing. They're gonna get to go on the internet, be able to look for certain clip art to be able to add into their slides. So we thought it would be fun and just a nice little activity for them to be able to do. In order for this to go a little bit more smoothly, especially with having some of the lower elementary students, we decided to pair them up with a tech buddy. So they have either a 5th, 6th, or they have both of them. And they are all gonna be working on completing these assignments together. They're gonna be responsible for doing it on their own iPad, but so that they're there kind of helping them walk through some of these things, they're gonna have somebody next to them to kind of go, hey, what do I do with this? Or hey, how do I do this? So it's a very easy little activity, but I think it's gonna be something that they'll enjoy a lot. The hair has gone up, please do not judge me. Because tomorrow is back to school night for our parents that are gonna be coming in, we do a little presentation for them. It's nothing really fancy. I think we get about 45 minutes with them after they have had the opportunity to listen to our principal speak. They come into the room and we are gonna do a presentation, and we also give them some information inside of a folder. So right now what I have done is I have actually printed off some labels that has like back to school night MAC team with the year on it. I'm gonna actually put these labels on right now. My other partner is going and printing off some of the sheets that we need to be able to stuff inside of these folders. And then the only other thing that I need to finish is being able to fix a couple of things that are on my flip book and get those printed and made. So that's pretty much it for the most part. Like, it's not a very stressful night. It's pretty easy and laid back. We want to just give the parents a lot of opportunity to be able to ask questions, so we're trying not to do anything big and fancy. We will always have drinks and snacks. If you feed people, they're happy automatically. So always feature people that whenever they come to see you, always give them something to eat, and they're all just automatically happy. They can't like get mad at you. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that, and I am going to put you in a fast forward mode so you can watch. So I've been home for just a little bit, and I am starting to make dinner, and I really wanted to show you guys how to make this really easy soup. This is a soup that my boys love. My husband absolutely loves this soup. It's a chicken taco enchilada kind of soup. It's really good, and it's incredibly easy to make. It's one of those when I'm getting home late like I am tonight, I can just throw everything inside of the pot, let it cook up really nice, and then I am ready to go, and you have something so delicious, especially with fall and it's raining outside and it's cooler. You just want to have some soup. So I'm going to show you guys what I do to make the soup. So inside of a large pot, I have 2 of the containers of chicken broth, and then I also have 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, and then I put an entire packet of taco seasoning inside of it. I'm gonna let that heat up really nice, mix it up really well, and then I'm gonna show you guys the next step. So while the chicken broth and the cream of chicken and the taco seasonings like cooking up a storm, and you're already smelling it and you're like, that smells so good, because I know you're gonna think it's so good. While that is cooking and kind of heating up and starting to mix together, you will want to shred some type of a chicken. Now, if you're better than I am, which I'm sure that you are, you would have like these for chicken breasts. You're gonna like do the whole cooking thing, however you want to do it, bake it, broil it, whatever you want to do, shred it all nice and lovely. But if you are like me, and tend to be a little bit lazy when it comes to things, I just pick up a rotisserie chicken and then I just cut up a rotisserie chicken and shred that up, and then I throw that in the pot because sometimes. So that's what I did. I went on ahead and I took my rotisserie chicken, shredded it up really nice, and now that is going to be ready to go inside of the pot. You will also want to make sure that you're getting together some type of rice. I do a white rice because I like it. You are more than welcome to do brown rice, but I will do white rice to put underneath the soup, and it just, oh y'all, it's so good, so good. I'm getting excited. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit more, and then we're gonna start adding some of the other items inside. Oh, look at that color. Okay, so now that this has gotten a pretty good mix here, I still see a little few chunks in there because of the cream of chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my rotisserie chicken because I've actually had mine for a day now, so it's had plenty of time to cool inside of the fridge. So I want that to get plenty hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this rotisserie chicken and I'm just gonna dump it right on in. All right, I'm gonna mix that up. I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit, heat that up really nice and even, and then I'm gonna show you some of the toppings that we put inside of it. So now the chicken has had plenty of time to be able to cook thoroughly, so that's getting nice and hot. Now what I'm gonna do is add a 14.5 ounce of the diced tomatoes. I'm also adding 2 4-ounce cans of diced green chilies inside of it. You can also add black beans and then corn. I am choosing to do the black beans and corn separate because I have some family members that like it, some family members that don't, so I like to make it to where everybody can kind of add what they want. I'm gonna cook the frozen corn over here. I'll add the green chilies and the tomatoes there, and then I'll also have the rice boiling over here in this pot. What is it that you want? Oh, who said that you could watch a movie?
Me?
You?
Only.
Only you said that? Do you think you're allowed to watch movies right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do I get a big kiss?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a kiss.
Okay.
No. Thank you.
You're trying with me?
Alright, so this is what the soup should look like afterwards. If you totally choose to put in the corn and the beans, definitely do so. Like I said, I like to keep it off to the side. So I have the soup ready. The first thing we will do is they will fill a bowl, add some rice in it. I have the corn cooked, the beans, black beans, and then this is a topping along with some tortilla strips. These are by far like the best thing to add onto any soup. It makes it so freaking good. You'll love it. So we will add all that stuff together in one big bowl, and it becomes this delicious soup, tasty mess. You're gonna love it. So please excuse the lighting for one, but this is what the finished product will look like. This is so good. All of my beans and my corn and rice are at the bottom. So I'm gonna mix it up in just a second and chow down on this soup.
Avocado slices.
And make sure you put avocado slices. I forgot avocado slices. Making it to school a little bit later than normal today. I'm probably about 20 minutes later than what I usually am. I do need to get into the school rather quickly though, because people are starting to pull in and I need to get to the copiers before everybody else does. It stopped. It just stops. This one kind of got screwed up. That's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It is now the afternoon. I have about 30 minutes before we are like officially on the clock to be here for back to school night. So back to school night is pretty much like your meet the teacher parent night type deal where parents get to come in, they sit down, you give them a presentation, you give them some information, that type of thing, and then they leave. The way ours is gonna work is that we have 2 different waves. We have like, they split them in half by the alphabet. So the first group will come in, they'll go and sit down with my principal, they'll have a speech from my principal that'll talk about like Skyward and just things to that nature. Then they'll come into the classroom, we'll do one speech, and then we'll have to do a second one. So we have 2 different waves to do it. Right now we are going to be in my room. We weren't able to get the library, which is unfortunate, but we're going to be in my room, and we made it work. So here is what the room looks like. Back here in the very back, we have 2 different tables. We have one table that is going to be for them to be able to sign in, another one that's going to have little questions. I need to put a basket out and some pens. We'll have lemonade and treats and candy and pretzels and cookies and all that good thing. I did a really nice little, it's not nice, but I did the best that I could on this with a chalkboard that says grab a treat and take a seat. So that is what I have up here. We still need to fill that and set up all the food, but then we have all of our seating. So we just brought in as much seating as we could find. It looks a little eclectic, but that's okay. So yeah, so there's the seating, and then I'm getting together a few other things that we need to have. So the parents are gonna have a folder that they are going, no, you can come in. I am so sorry that we got cut off a little bit ago when I was trying to show you what was inside of the folder. However, we had a couple of my 2 partner teachers came into my room, so I had to cut it short because we had other things that we needed to get done. So it is now over. I got my room semi back to normal, to where it needs to be. I want to show you guys what we had in the folder so that you have a kind of an idea of what we put in there. Alright, so like I was saying, on the cover I did it very, very basic. All I did was put back to school night, MAC team 2017-2018. When you open it up, one of the very first things that the parents saw was a very important parent. This is simply a form that we felt like it would be a really good opportunity for us to be able to see how many parents wanted to kind of volunteer in the classroom. So they have an option of doing like a VIP at school. They can be a VIP at home, a field trip volunteer, classroom, junior achievement volunteer. They circle the ones that they're able to do, and they kind of fill out their information there, and then we will be in contact with them later on about how they can volunteer inside of the classroom. Some other things that we have inside of this, one, I put a little card in here that has just some really good information for them to be able to follow us on some of the social media sites. So we have our Instagram, our Twitter handle, and then we also have a kid blog for them to be able to follow us at. I just put it on a piece of cardstock because I felt like it just kind of went with everything. We also have a flexible seating brochure that my partner made. And this goes over some really good seating options and talks about the seating options that we have and what are some of the expectations for our seating options, just to kind of help parents understand flexible seating a little bit more, because we all know that they didn't have this when we were younger. I think the most important thing that we gave them was going to be this flip book. This is just a flip book that has some really good information. When they open it up, they have some information about kind of the MAC team. We give them our phone numbers, and then we also give them our email so they can be able to contact us. We give them all of the actual schedule that we will be holding, and then the different specials that the kids have throughout the day. This one here is transitioning to the MAC team, just gives some really good important information about like snack and how to send lunch money, how to check, you know, making sure that they're checking Skyward, making sure they're checking Schoology, Dojo, etc. And then down here we start to go into Class Dojo, just information about how we use Class Dojo, why they should be keeping up with it, and what are some of the systems that we're gonna, like reward systems that we will do with the kids. Also goes into information about the house system, and then our homework policy that we have as a team. And then down here, I'm not going to show you a ton, but it goes into customized learning a little bit. We put in our district's information just as far as what are their beliefs. And then down here at the very bottom, down here at the very bottom, I also give a lot of kind of words and phrases, things that they're going to be hearing a lot from their kids as they're coming home, and just some definitions of what each of those mean. Down at the bottom, then they have the Skyward and Schoology. This is just from our different districts, some information and some things that we would like to make sure that they're doing on a daily basis, and making sure that they're updating some of their information, how they can, you know, put in if their kid is absent. All of those types of things are kind of in here for them. We also have information here just about pride and what do each of the letters mean. So it kind of goes over the expectation and then the area of the classroom where they will be showing pride throughout the year. So we put that in there as well. But this is it, guys. This is all that we have inside of this folder. We kept it really, really simple. Didn't go really flamboyant with it. We just put some of the basic information that we felt that parents really needed to know. And yeah, we even had one parent that was like, I feel so special, I get a folder. And we're like, yeah, you are, you're in the MAC team. So these were the little pieces of paper that I had out available for them to be able to write on. they were just able to kind of write their questions down, their child's name, their name, and then throw it into our little basket so that we can answer those at a later time, because I know time is kind of at a crunch during these sessions. And I can't remember if I said that I like to also have snacks, but I always like to have snacks because I think food makes people happy. So I like to always give as much food as possible because I feel like it just makes the heart happy. Like, you can't feel bad with food in your mouth. You just can't. So that's really about it. I'm very excited because I actually get to wear jeans tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be a great day. I am gonna go home, go to bed, get some rest, and then I will see you guys in the morning to talk about some other things that I have changed in my classroom. It is Friday, and that means it is a fantastic day. I love, love, love Fridays. I don't know if I just feel a little bit more laid back on Fridays. Like, I don't feel the pressure on Fridays, but I do love me some Fridays. And I just heard over the radio that our fair is in town. So I am so excited because I really, really want to go to the fair. The fair is definitely happening this weekend with my family. I loved it last year. This time we are wanting to go at least 2 or 3 different times while they're here, because it is so much fun and the kids have a blast during it, and it's a great way for it to get out and about, and I don't know, just makes me happy. So today's a really, really good day. I know you see that I have like a Christmas tree in the back of my car. So last night I stuck the Christmas tree in my car because I'm getting rid of it. I don't have anywhere to put it in my room. I don't want it out in the hallway. So I'm putting it in my car to go put it in my basement. We'll whip it out during Christmas time. So today is going to be a great day. We're really going to be taking the time to just catch up and get a lot of things done that we were not able to get done over the week. So we're going to take it nice, slow, steady. And then next week I'm really excited because next week we finally start diving into some of the curriculum. This week has been a lot more with pride lessons and iPads and growth mindset, all of lessons which I think my students really, really needed and they're benefiting a ton from. So I'm gonna get in, make some coffee, and I'll see you guys in a second. My room is still a disaster from last night with having open, no, why do I want to keep saying open school, y'all? It's not open school. But with having back to school nights, that's the one. It is still a little bit of a mess. So I need to spend some good amount of time this morning just getting everything cleaned and tidy because it's gonna make me feel so much better. I have realized this week has gone by so much more smoothly because everything has had a place, everything has been organized, everything has been ready to go, and it's made me feel a ton better. So I am very confident about the way that everything's gonna go in the future. I told you guys I was gonna talk to you a little bit about desks and the tables that you see in the back of my room. I promise at the end of this video, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk to you guys about it. But first, I'm gonna drink some coffee and I gotta get this place cleaned up. So I'm gonna put you on a little bit of a fast forward because I haven't done a ton of those in this video. So I'm gonna put you a little bit on a fast forward so that you can watch me clean. Hopefully, this will help give you a little bit motivated to clean wherever it is that you are. I'm not sure if I've really ever told you guys this, but I have a bucket of coloring supplies. So I have one that has colored pencils, I have another one that has crayons, I have another one that has glue sticks. This is what I let my kids use just because I realized that we don't do a lot of coloring. Don't do a lot of coloring in 4th grade. Kindergarten I did a lot of coloring. 4th grade I did not do a lot of coloring. So instead of just giving them each their individual supply, I go ahead and just put a community bin filled with it in here. But on Fridays, these need to be sharpened. It's Friday. So I'm gonna get these sharpened up for my kiddos so they'll have some fresh colored pencils for the next week and also for today because they do have a few coloring assignments that they're doing today. So I'm gonna get these sharpened up for them. This is gonna take a bit, so it's super duper fast forwarding. Here we go. Y'all, let me tell you that like after this week and some of the schedule changes that we have had, our afternoons have been going so incredibly smooth. The kids are getting their stuff done. They're able to come in, we get unpacked, we leave during wave 1, which is phenomenal. So it's been great. The kids have done a really, really great job with it. And I wanted to share a couple of things that my partner, actually it's not a couple, it's just one. I wanted to share something that my partner showed me and I thought it was amazing. So I was like, can I please share this with my community? And she said absolutely. So I wanted to share with you this idea that she had, and I think she found it somewhere else, I'm not really sure. So here is what I've been doing. I have this little tin cup inside of it with some popsicle sticks. Now this year I have grouped my kids with, as far as like boys in one closet, girls in another closet. Next year I think I'm going to group them by color, and as they come in at the beginning of the year, they're going to be handed a color card. That's going to be the card that they go into for that closet. They have, boys are green, girls are yellow. And at the very beginning, when I am getting them cleaned up and getting them to go and pack up, I will pull out 3 boys and 3 girls. Now they are expected, and they'll just kind of sit down. So I will pull out 1, 2, 3, I'll pull them out over here, and then I'll pull out 3 girls, 1, 2, 3, and then I will say, okay, you guys go and pack up. Everybody else, I want you cleaning up. I want you working on things that you need to complete, or silently reading at this time. And then as the kids are finished packing up and they have all of their things and they are done, they will come and they will pull a popsicle stick, call that person's name, and then that person will go and they will leave it out. They do this all by themselves. I do not have to dismiss to tell kids when to pack up. They do it all by themselves, and y'all, it works so great. To the point, like even this little cup always magically ends up right there at the end of the day. Like, that is awesome. Like, my kids even put the popsicle stick cup back where it belongs. It's amazing. I thought it was such a genius way of getting the kids to pack up, and I had to share that with you guys because it's been making my days and my afternoons go so much more smoothly. So we have about 20 minutes at the end of the day to be able to just kind of have some independent reading. Some of the kids like to try to get caught up on some of the work that they have, so they will be doing that. Later on, we're going to be pulling some small groups. We have some people that are pushing into our classrooms during that time to give us extra assistance, so they will get pulled for like different small groups outside. And the kids are just kind of packing up and getting the room set up, which has been so much easier on my life. It's helped me out a ton. So just that little simple schedule change, guys, has really made a huge difference on the afternoons and how we are kind of dismissing at the end of the day. So I'm really glad that we made those changes because it has made a big difference in the classroom. So I'm very happy about that. I also wanted to share something that you guys probably see way up here, and like, don't judge me, but the eye is missing. I don't know where it went. Like, it just disappeared. So I told you guys that the kids are working on hopes and dreams, and the way that we kind of introduce rules to them is we don't really say that they're rules, but we ask them and we say, hey guys, what do you think school is? And they kind of tell us about all these things that school is. School is, you know, fun. School is a place of learning. School is, you know, a place to have friends and things to that extent. We create a huge anchor chart with them, and then afterwards, so we say, you know what, because we know we want to reach these hopes and dreams, because we know that this is what school is, you know, what are some things that we have to do in order to make sure school stays this way? So then we create promises together. So let me show you what our kids ended up coming up with. So up here we have, we promise, and it says, we promise to show respect and kindness, to work hard and be responsible, to show pride, to believe in ourselves, because school, and this is supposed to say is, sorry, I have to reprint, because school is important, a place to learn, accepting, a place to achieve goals, a place to create fun, a place to make friends, and safe. I think that this is incredibly powerful because every time that we bring up anything, I bring these up. I say, guys, remember the promises that we make because we believe that this is what school should be. And y'all, they do such a great job with it. So I strongly recommend you do this in your classroom. Try it out 1 year. It is such a great and most powerful way to get kids to really understand why is it that we create some of these things together. And we don't say rules, we say that we're going to make these promises to one another. So I thought it was nice, and it looks really nice. My partner ended up making that, so it looks great. I love it. I thought it was a very powerful way to kind of build that classroom community and to create some of those promises, those rules together. And the kids did a really great job with it. They were wise beyond their years. So very, very proud of them with that. I think I'm about ready to go, but I do want to show you one more thing because I felt like I haven't talked to you guys that much this week. It's been crazy. So I wanted to show you this, and I don't remember where I saw this, so I apologize if like you are watching this and this is like an idea that you came up with. I don't know where I saw this from, and I may have kind of tweaked it a little bit to be able to fit my class and my kids' needs. So here's what I did. I found a clip art of a brain. I ended up using kind of like a Photoshop to be able to kind of white it out so that my kids were able to write in it. But then the kids had different prompts that they had to do. Like they wrote down a definition, they were able to draw a picture, they gave a time when they had a fixed mindset, growth mindset, they talked about phrases. All of those ideas came from that book, The Growth Mindset Coach. So all of the prompts came from that book. And the kids were able to fill those out, and they created this really cool little like brain flip book. I think it's the coolest thing ever. So you can kind of see it here where one of the kids has colored it, but they've made this really nice little flip book. So I thought this was a really great way for us to be able to solidify and kind of our understanding of what growth mindset and a fixed mindset is. So the kids had a really fun time being able to do these, and I was very proud with the way that they came out. So now what I have to do is I have to figure out how many kids I actually have that completed it, and then put them on a little checklist, and then I have to get these ready to put outside in the hallway. I'm not sure if you've been like watching me for a little bit, but back when I was like over the summer when we were talking about like setting up classrooms and that type of thing, I showed you guys these really long folders that have like these prongs at the top. That is what we're going to put the kids' work on, so that it's just kind of creating a portfolio of some of the things that they're doing within the classroom. I think it's a really easy way to be able to keep track of it. I will show that to you guys next week once we're able to get those out in the hallway, but that's what I'm going to end up putting those on. I have to check those off of my list to make sure how many kids I don't have that finish them, because they will have to finish them next week. And that's it, guys. I'm going to end up going home. So yeah, I was ready to go. The fair is this weekend, so I'm very excited about that. So I feel like I want to do something just a little bit different on Fridays. And Fridays I really want to focus on just like questions that you guys ask me, comments that you guys tend to put onto some of the videos, because I love communicating with each and every single one of you. However, it gets really difficult to communicate, especially when life starts to happen and kids start to come into the picture. So I figured I would just do a little sit down at the end of Friday, which is today. I'm sorry I did not get to show you a ton of stuff today. It was busy, y'all. I had a family, like I had a meeting with a family. I was making copies during my lunch, so I really wasn't able to get a ton of stuff kind of in. So I have my room cleaned up, everything's set up for next week. I'm ready to go. The topic that I really wanted to talk about this week is going into a teacher desk. So I know so many of you have told me, and I love y'all so much for giving me advice. I truly, truly do appreciate it. I have been teaching for 6 years, and within those 6 years I've had a teacher desk 1 year. When I didn't have a teacher desk, I had a small group area. Now I know that this year is a little bit different for me because I'm still trying to figure out kind of what works best for me and how I do things and where I like to put things, because I don't really have a small group area anymore, which I'm really excited about, because I'm excited about some of the things that I am going to be doing, and I do really love my space in the front of my room with my 2 round tables. So it's been a little bit of a trial and error for me this year at the beginning of the year, because it's all new, it's different. I'm doing a MAC team, it's a different program. I have a different space now. So you kind of have to tweak and try things out before you really commit to something. And yes, it can get frustrating. And yes, you can kind of be at all wit's end and say, this is ridiculous. I can't believe this is happening. But I feel like you have to kind of go through those trial and errors. You have to go through those times when you're just really frustrated in order to be able to find what really works for you. So I'm very, very pleased with my workspace right now. And my teacher desk, it's just not me, y'all. Like, there are some people who really enjoy having a teacher desk, and kudos to you. That is how you want to work things. That's how you want to have your classroom, and no one should ever take that away from you. But for me, and for what I believe in, and for how I teach, and for how I like to run my classroom, a teacher desk does not fit anywhere in my plans. But I've been tweaking things and making things work and kind of changing them around, and I'm very pleased with some of the things and the changes that I've made. Even this morning I made a couple of changes here and there, and I'm really happy with the way things are running. As much as I really love the fact that you guys are commenting and recommending that I would get a teacher desk inside of my classroom, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, that is just something that I will never ever do, just because it's just not me. It's not who I am. It's not who, like, the teacher that I am. Like, it just doesn't work for my space. So with that being said, I also want to kind of jump into the kind of classroom layout, and I've been getting so many comments of, like, where's your desk? Where's your desk? Why don't you have desks for your students? Where do your students sit? Now, if you are new to my channel, I teach a MAC team, and what that is, it's a multi-age classroom. So I teach a variety of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and we have a combination of 3 classes. So there are 3 teachers, that includes myself, in this one program, and these kids will rotate between our 3 classrooms, and it's to be able to really focus on individual kids' needs and really making sure that we're fitting the curriculum to where they are, because we all know as teachers that we get kids coming in from all different levels. A 6th grader might be a 6th grader just by age, but it doesn't mean that they're on a 6th grade level. A 5th grader may be a 5th grader's age, but they may be working higher than a 5th grade level. So the idea of this program is that we're really being able to blend them and fit them in for what their needs are. And instead of pushing them to a 6th grade classroom or moving them down to a 4th grade classroom where they're going to feel a little bit embarrassed with that, they already are all mixed. They don't really see each other as grades. They just see each other as their peers and their kids that are in their class. So that's kind of the foundation of our class and how we're trying to run things. Now, when we were first designing our rooms, our beliefs as teachers is that we really are very committed into building a strong community. So we wanted to make sure that we held morning meetings together, that we had read alouds together, that we had opportunities where we could be together as large groups. With weather issues and things like that, we wanted to make sure that we had a space in one of our rooms to be able to do that. My room ended up being this space. Now, I was originally going to be in a room with another teacher. However, things changed over the summer. Ended up deciding, you know what, I think this is best for me in order to just stay in my classroom. I will teach in my classroom. We'll have the 3 spaces, especially with just learning about some of our kids and what are some of the needs that they need. So I stayed in my room and the other 2 teachers stayed in their room, but we still needed to make sure that my room was still going to be able to fit the large group. So we try to keep a really large open space, which is what we have. We have a very large space. Now, I didn't have any desks in the beginning. I had 3 benches inside of my classroom. I have a variety of different flexible seating options for my kids to be able to use, and they really enjoy that. Now, I know that you guys saw that I have 2 large tables in the very back of my room. Those are going to be staying in my room, and here is why. Not because I wanted tables or desks. It was because after looking and observing my students, after getting to know my kids, I started realizing that I have quite a large group that enjoys sitting at tables, that they like to be able to sit down at a table. So I felt that as a teacher, I needed to make those options available to my students. So we brought the 2 tables and put them in the back of the room. It's been working beautifully. The kids are really doing a great job with it. They're enjoying it, and it's really working really well for the space. While at the same time, we are still able to fit the large group in order to have our morning meetings, and in order to have, you know, some of those read aloud options with our kids, and to have some of those big class meetings. So everything has been working beautifully. Everything is always a trial and error, especially when you're trying something new. If you're moving to a new grade level, if you're a 1st year teacher, you know, if you're, you know, have a new space inside of a different classroom that you haven't been in before, you're going to try things, you're not gonna like things, you're gonna change things, and that's completely okay. That's exactly what I've been going through this year. I've been trying things, seeing things, if things work. Sometimes you get frustrated because, you know, in the end, you know, you got a lot of things coming at you at the beginning of the school year. And it is what it is, you know. I put a smile on my face and I'm just gonna deal with it. But everything has been working smoothly. I like the space that I have. I will end up showing you my space next week to kind of go over a little bit more in detail. I have a few little bits and pieces that I want to purchase to kind of help me stay a little bit more organized as far as some of the paperwork and things like that. But I feel like for the most part, everything is starting to come together really, really well. The tables are working out nicely for my students. I see that they're enjoying those options. I also offered some different options that they have as far as using the cushions and the lap desks, and they're really, really working well with it, and they're adjusting very well to the classroom. So I just wanted to end it on that note. I hope that this was informative for you guys. I would love to know about more comments, more questions that you guys have. And then I will do the same thing on Friday next week, where I will sit down and kind of answer a general topic that you guys have, something along the lines of what I've been doing for the week, to hopefully kind of add some more clarification. So, because it is really hard to like answer a ton of questions, and I try my hardest, but with my babies, I don't typically get the opportunity to do that because I do like to be at home and be a mom and spend time with them. So, y'all, my eyebrows are in point this week, okay? Let me just throw that out there. Like last week, people were making fun of my eyebrows. This week, my eyebrows look good because I plucked them. So, on that note, my battery is flashing. So guys, thank you so much for joining in on this second week of school. Next week will be my actual first full week, 5 days with my kids. I'm excited to experience that. We're jumping into the curriculum, so please stay tuned to some amazing things that are going to be happening next week. Not going to say this, but something with along the lines of boot camp might be happening next week. But so thank you guys so much. Please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Please comment down below. Let me know if you have some comments, questions, things that you want me to talk about. I will put that in the video next week. Love you all, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all really, really soon. Bye.